Lionel Messi's father, Jorge, denies that £522 million contract with Saudi Arabia's Al-Hilal is a done deal, insisting, quote, there's nothing agreed with any club for next season. What's your read on Lionel Messi and how much depends on how much he's got left at the top level?
I think the only certainty here, Teddy, is that he will be leaving PSG. I think that relationship seems to have run its course with, obviously, the ban he received recently for a trip to Saudi Arabia without permission. He's still a fantastic player, of course, and he's still got something to offer. And I think he would like to offer a little bit more in Europe, maybe set some more records in domestic and European competition. But it is complicated because if he's not going to extend with that option at PSG, then the only link to signing him has been Barcelona re-signing him, and they're going to struggle to afford it financially with their situation there. And so that's why, of course, Saudi Arabia has come into the frame with a massive offer that, from everything we hear, genuinely has not been signed, sealed, delivered. And his father, from what I know, is right on that. But clearly a lot of negotiation and politics going on in the background. We've got Inter Miami as well, who I reported a while ago were increasingly confident of signing him. And I think they'll still be holding out hope for this summer. If it's not this summer, then in the future, leading up to the 2026 World Cup, which I think Messi would still like to play in. But this one, as I understand it, will get decided at the end of the season. And all three of those options remain in play.
You mentioned politics and geopolitical elements to it, aren't there, Riyadh? We know that human rights groups will oppose the move if Messi goes there. Kevin Gartside has been writing about this in the iBack page. Messi is the dopamine hit that Saudi Arabia is banking on to make us ignore the bad stuff. Is the sports washing working? I know you've written about Ronaldo obviously playing in Saudi Arabia as well. Are we being distracted, or is it something that perhaps that are separate entities?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's kind of beyond doubt what the kind of bigger picture is for Saudi Arabia, and we've seen this enormous sporting buy-in. We've seen it with Newcastle United, Live Golf, Formula One, tennis. It is a big part of a broader strategy. This would be by some distance the biggest coup. For Saudi Arabia, I get accused of being quite sanctimonious on this. I do think it's sports washing. I'd also think it would be quite depressing for Messi, a guy of that stature. He doesn't need to do it. I mean, we hear this astonishing sums of money, 520 million. Obviously, we can all understand why. I was writing about this at the weekend. You just kind of hope he can be the bigger person. We've obviously seen Ronaldo do it already. They seem to follow one another through the history books. Just hopefully it doesn't happen this time.
Riyadh, quick thought. Could it threaten the Premier League in some senses? If the veterans of the Galacticos of Ronaldo and Messi go there, could we see the current prime stars like Mbappe and people like that flocking to the Middle East?
Potentially, I think when we look at the profile of players who are going, it is people like, Ronaldo and Messi. They're both deep into their 30s. I think the real test would be for someone to go over there. I'm sure Gary Cook, who's heading it up over that side, would love to see a player in their prime go over there, which isn't, you could never diminish Ronaldo and Messi for stature, but they are at the opposite ends of their careers to someone like Kylian Mbappe. So, I mean, that would be perhaps even more astonishing if a player in their 20s was to go over.